What's going on, everybody? It is D-Man coming back at it again with another YouTube video, and today we're seeing a lot of cuts across the league today because you got to turn in rosters today, and for the Titans it's by 3 p.m. Central Time. So as y'all probably seen this a little after, so maybe y'all seen the full roster. I'm recording this at 2:55 right now, so a couple minutes away. Maybe, I don't know if y'all seen the roster already, but we've seen some cuts already today. The first was Javian Hawkins. I actually did make a video of him when we picked him up, and now we are releasing him, which, I mean, I think he played pretty solid. It's just not enough room on the roster. So we'll get into some other guys that we didn't see today at practice, that we assume got cut. Offensive lineman Cole Banwart, wide receiver Fred Brown, who I liked, but again, that wide receiver position is very, very tough because you got a lot of guys there and you got to cut some guys. So again, I like Fred Brown, but there's just not enough room. And then tight end Jared Pinckney, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Jared Pinckney, but yeah, that's that. And then we saw Javian Hawkins earlier today. 13 more have to be turned in, but then we saw later today, which is Titans are practicing today. That's why you're seeing some clips. The Titans are waiving Mason Kinsey. Probably the reason you clicked on this video was because of Mason Kinsey. I'm a big fan of Mason Kinsey. I know a lot of you guys are fans of Mason Kinsey, but he didn't make the roster. But that's okay, because if he doesn't get picked up by anyone else, I would love to have him back on the practice squad, and that's what Tom Pelissero kind of mentioned here as well. She'll be back on the practice squad if he clears. But in my opinion, all these guys that we're cutting, I wouldn't be surprised if many of them find a spot on a roster somewhere else, because they're all really good. Mason Kinsey performed really well in the preseason, and I'm sure another team would love to have him on a roster. So I hope he doesn't get picked up by anyone else, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone else picks him up before we can have him back. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on. We saw a couple other news from today. Des Fitzpatrick is being cut, a guy that I was about 90 to 95% sure he was going to make the roster just because of the situation with us trading up to draft him in the 4th round. And I know he didn't perform. He performed terribly. He was really bad during training camp, really inconsistent. Even at that, I thought 4th round pick, we traded up for this guy. There was no way we cut him, and we do. So kind of crazy. I don't mind it, but I'd love to see him back on the practice squad. That's just me, to see if he can get any better. Because right now it just feels like it's a wasted pick. But kind of surprising that they did cut Des Fitzpatrick. But like I said, that wide receiver core, that's really, really tough because you've got guys that are really good. We got so many wide receivers that are good, but you got to cut some of them to make a 53-man roster. So it's really, really tough. I'm sure John Robinson had a tough time cutting Mason Kinsey, tough time cutting Des Fitzpatrick, but I'm sure they want to have him back on the practice squad. But again, I mean, you saw what Mason Kinsey did in the preseason. He played really well, and we cut him. There's just so many other guys on the team. Marcus Johnson played really, really good throughout training camp and the preseason. Fred Brown's another wide receiver that got released. So you got Fred Brown, Des Fitzpatrick, Mason Kinsey so far. So Racey McMath, we haven't heard anything from him. We've heard about him. He was pretty solid, kind of a surprise guy at training camp. Who else is out? Obviously A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. So let's count them out. A.J. Brown, Julio, Josh Reynolds. You also have Marcus Johnson, Racey McMath. I'm missing someone. Chester Rogers at 6. I feel like I'm missing someone. Is that 6? We gotta have one more, right? I might be missing someone. I think I'm missing. I have to be missing at least one or two. But that is what we're looking at right now. So yeah, 3 wide receivers today have been released: Mason Kinsey, Fred Brown, and Des Fitzpatrick. Tommy Hudson's make the 53-man roster, so that's some good news for him. Yeah, Paul Kaharski, says it there. He can still hit the practice squad and grow into something. Disappointing he didn't do more, but good that others have emerged. That's true, but at the same time, it's kind of just, it just feels bad. You feel bad. I thought the pick was kind of a stretch at the when we drafted him. I thought it was a bit of a stretch because I felt like we could have picked him without trading up. But the only reason I think we traded up was because we might have heard someone trying to draft him early, and we traded up. We really liked him. And then, a few months later, we see what happens. So, I was skeptical about the pick right when we picked him. I kind of looked into the kid. I thought he was a pretty solid talent. We did that video going over some of his highlights. So, he kind of grew, but I don't know. Just didn't pan out. Kind of surprising to me. But that's pretty much it. The moves that were made today so far, it did just hit 3 o'clock, so I do want to refresh here and see if we can see anything else, if anything else has released or anything. Anyone else have been cut? Not really. Check out Jim Wyatt's Twitter right quick, see if he's got anything here. No, maybe Teron Davenport. Let's check him out. I've been on Twitter all day long, refresh, seeing if I can get anything today. Nope, just the Paul Kaharski retweet there. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Pretty much everything so far. We still got a lot of guys to cut, so that will come soon, I would imagine. So yeah, with that being said, that is going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Until next time, I'll see y'all.